space. It's always wonderful to see you and be at your wonderful boutique hotel where we are right now in Jinan Tamsına. Met you here many years ago, and I know that you're working on many things. You're a personality with many hats, and there's so much to talk about. And I have a lot of questions for you, but you know, one of the things I'm very interested in getting to know is your music. And I'm wondering, what are you up to with your most recent engagements?
Well, it's great to see you again too. It's funny when you say that I have a personality that wears many hats, because my hair is so crazy that I actually can't physically wear hats, but in terms of the metaphor, absolutely, I do wear a lot of hats. So coming out of COVID and Corona has been really interesting creatively, because I think a lot of people, myself included, have had these moments of, you know, pause and silence and rhythm slowing down, where we've been able to concentrate on honing our craft a lot more and kind of discovering ourselves as artists or as storytellers, which is really what I call myself first and foremost, as a storyteller. It's something I do through moving images, still images, through music, through writing, and very much through this space actually. But during COVID, I started a collaboration with a producer in Montreal, which is where I used to go to university, called Moses Boulanger. And he is a really, really cool house producer and DJ, and we got connected through mutual friends. And we just started very spontaneously creating this EP together. I was in my bedroom in Marrakesh with my microphone, recording all night during COVID, and he was in his home studio in Montreal, producing, mixing my vocals, etc. And we did one song, and then the next, and then the next, and then all of a sudden this concept started to emerge. I've always wanted to create a concept album in my music. I've always wanted to have something that has this coherence and a kind of direction. In the past, I was always doing one song about this and one song about that, but never something that was cohesive. And so here I said, okay, this is an amazing opportunity. You've never done a full project. I've never done a full project. Let's do this. And thinking so much about the way that we were so kind of stagnant in some ways during those couple of years, I thought, what's something that people have universally had on their minds for this time? And for me, it was what in French we call évasion, escapism. You know, the sense of like, you can't travel, you can't move, you can't kind of explore. And so that's where this concept came from. I wrote every single song on the project about a different tradition of escapism. And one of them, for example, is about sea folklore. One of them is inspired by The Matrix. One of them is inspired by the kind of zone that they talk about in anthropology that you enter when you're gambling or playing video games. You know, you don't have, there's like in a casino, there's no windows, so you don't know what time of day it is. In a video game, you're kind of sucked into this space, this weird kind of technological mental space. So basically every song is an exploration of a different one of these ways that we as human beings escape for whichever reason, whatever reality we're currently in. And I think it's something that a lot of people did, if not all people did, during those 2 years. And that's how that emerged.
So you're picking up my pieces. Just to tear me apart.
Rashid, thank you for having us today. Each time I come to visit Marrakesh, for me this is the place to be, Terre d'éveil, the land of awakening, because this is a place where I feel very good about myself, and this is a place where I reflect about the world, the outer world and the inner world. And I know you have a big vision about this space, which is at the moment in Marrakesh, but then went to Rabat, hopefully, inshallah, soon to the whole world, or maybe not. So that's something I'm very curious about. Could you tell us a little bit about your vision? Why did you came up with this idea?
Well, actually, I didn't come up with anything. It's the same reason, actually, that brings you here, is that what made us actually create a place that gathers all these things. Beauty, health, well-being, meeting, learning, everything actually that nourish our soul. So these things exist already, but the difficulty was in under one roof to have a lot of activities and meet different profile people. So it's natural. It was not a choice, but we have to create a place like this actually for us first. Then we share with people that are sensitive to all these things.
Actually, that's a very true point, that what we need is what actually everybody needs, and that's, I think, what unites us as human beings. We're all the same, right? We all look for the same. We wish for better lives, healthy lives. And what is the way to achieve that healthy life, in your opinion?
I think today everybody's looking to do more things, to achieve more things. So we want to be happier, but we make more effort actually to gain more. But by making more effort, you're more tired. So the idea is to do less actually, just to keep an eye inside, not just keep trying to get more and more and more. Then at the end you're tired and you don't even benefit. And in our culture we talk about tasarruf, means benefiting. You have very little, but you benefit from it. Better than have a lot, but you die poor. You have the money, but you save it, just in case you're gonna need. But you are in the need now, but we save it for, I don't know when. So we don't know when we're gonna die. We never know if we're gonna benefit from everything that we've accumulated. So my idea is to do less, to have little, but to benefit more from that little. We are actually pushed by the system. We created the system. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult for you to change the system. But what happened when you come to Marrakesh, you said you slow your rhythm. So things actually comes first to us. You only slow your rhythm. You don't slow the system or the rhythm of the system, and you benefit. So each one of us should see himself first, try and slow down. If we all slow, if we all pay attention, if we all participate, then the world will be good. But we don't see ourselves. We always blame on the other. Look at the system, look at the others. I think we should bring stuff to us first. And this brings us actually to practices that we do actually to slow down. And we talk about meditation, for example. Meditation is to calm down. When you meditate, you don't do anything. You just try and stop. It's the silence. It's when it's quiet that you structure. If we talk or if we tap, it's noise. If there is a silence between tap, it's structured, becomes music. So it's that moment actually when you meditate, or when you're calm, when you benefit more actually from breaking that rhythm that we call a system. So meditation is a good practice actually to learn to slow the mental and to rest actually from
started this experience with Mohsin like 5-6 years ago. We come from two different backgrounds. I'm an engineer in food industry, and he's an interior architect. So we always wanted to do something together to mix up with both our experiences and backgrounds. So when I finished with my previous job, we got this farm on the road to Essaouira. Actually, it's like 40 minutes from Marrakesh. Like it's an oliveraie, it's like an olive tree farm, where around the farm we've met those women, those cooperative women. So it's something like common in Morocco, where women work together in the villages from a product that they have. They source it from their village or their lands, and the government usually doesn't put tax on them. So for us it was also a good thing to help those women. So we sourced the raw materials from them, and we got this idea of creating a skincare line called the Moroccans, which is 100% natural from the product that we have in Morocco from our plants, but inspired from old, let's say, grandma's recipes that we have in Morocco. So we were like asking our families, our friends, and so all this we took, like, for example, we have, a mask from saffron and honey. We have the orange blossom, the henna, the prickly pear seed oil, which is a good anti-aging. We have many of these kind of products in our line, all from those women's. But the idea was to put it in a nice packaging, of course, put it in a nice, tell the story of it, and test it in a laboratory, and then sell it to the world. I was always wondering how we can stay in good health, and I would not say looking young forever, because you cannot, but at least looking in a good shape without. And what we see today is like people do the short road with having Botox injection and all these kind of things. And when I see around my family, for example, I see my mom, I see my sisters, they all look natural, they look beautiful, and I see my grandmas also. And with just using those kind of products, I think there is a treasure there. There is something that we can get from them. We also see that, I mean, for example, Morocco is one of the countries that has the less percentage of cancer. I think it's related to many things, not only the product they're using, but I think also because all these skincare lines, now that we heard about it, which has the magic effect, are cancerogen, and people like, okay, you look nice today, but in, I don't know, 5-10 years, you get problems of Alzheimer problems, and we know the origin of all this. So I think there is a back to nature now in Morocco, and I think all over the world. And for us, it's an opportunity, but it's also a market for us. So we say what it is. I mean, we didn't invent anything.
Well, I would say in terms of this place, and also just to add a little bit more about plants and the environment and nature in general, is that I think apart from, my family, which obviously has influenced me so much, and this is part of it, something that influences me so much and inspires me so much for the music, the storytelling life, everything is nature, whether it's plants or animals, these ecosystems. And one of the things that I am the proudest of about this space, Janaan Tamsna, is that we work so hard and yet so naturally in sync with our environments. And I think very much remembering that at the end of the day, we as humans are guests in this land. And, these plants and these birds and these turtles, like, they are actually the real hosts, Like, we may have a hotel, but it's actually their house, And so I definitely think that that's one of the things that I'm proudest about this space and this life.
Thank you.